Got everybody good. I just real quickly before Flo steps up, just wanted to touch on the fact of how excited and really happy I am that we were able to come to a really positive solution for both Danielle and the Minnesota Vikings with what Rob and Kwesi and Danielle's representatives were able to do. Process was a good one, where my daily dialogue with Danielle and as we continue to learn about each other and him to know, I'm always going to try to do what I say and make sure he knows our intent, especially with a player of Danielle's caliber. We are a better football team with Danielle Hunter, and I'm really excited about that. But just want to say, tip my hat to Quace and Rob, and like I said, Danielle's representation for getting something, getting a really positive solution done. And Danielle will be, a full participant from training camp from here on out. And with that, we will have a plan for him that starts out. He was out here for the walkthrough. He'll take part of the early part of practice, and then we will build up his reps as we go with a mindset, knowing we've got some real important dates coming up, whether it be joint practices or any of our other work we'll do throughout training camp, with a mindset to build towards that. I'll keep you guys updated and make sure we lean on Tyler and Uriah and Josh and Derek Keys as far as how that plan plays out. But once again, just very excited. Great to see him back out there in the defensive huddle, and I know his teammates were excited as well. So with that, I will turn it over to our defensive coordinator.
Thank you. And Quace. And Rob.
Hey guys, I'm ready for questions. Whenever you guys are ready.
Can you put into words what this means for your defense to know that he will be part of your defense?
I think there's just a level of excitement. I talked about Danielle the other day. I think he's an exceptional player, and we're excited to have him as part of the defense. Not only as a player, but just kind of the leadership that he brings. I know that he's a hard-working individual. I also know that he's a man of few words, but he leads by example, and his actions speak for themselves. And we're excited to have him. We're excited to get started. He's been in some meetings and been working, and now to get out on the field with his teammates. You can already see just that dynamic, him working with, D linemen, linebackers, secondary guys, all just trying to get on the same page already. So we're off to a good start, but at the same time, we got to continue to grow and learn as a group, and that's the daily challenge.
Brian, how do you see him fitting into your defense? I know that a player like Danielle can fit into kind of any defense, but just with picking up the nuances and things like that.
Yeah, I see him fitting in as an every down player who brings a level of toughness in the run game as well as the pass game. We'll do everything we can schematically to try to put him in good positions like we do with all players. He brings an element of, at least in the pass rush, from a pass rush standpoint, an element of, you feel good in one-on-one situations. And then inevitably, if we're doing well in one-on-one situations, the hope is that, they add someone else, which either puts less guys in coverage, which is good, or opens things up for somebody else. So as we see how our offense deals with that, and then how other teams deal with that on a week-to-week basis, we will make the adjustments. But having a plan like Danielle, no one's upset about it.
Ryan, do you have a sense yet whether his best fit is as a stand-up rusher?
I think he's got the ability to do both. I think there's going to be times where he's stood up. There's going to be times where he's got his hand in the ground. I'm really been a personal preference guy from that standpoint. I think you can play that position with your hand in the ground in a 2-point, 3-point. So my philosophy has always been, as long as you can get your job done or do what we're asking you to do. I'm not a big right foot up, left foot up, inside foot up. Everyone's body mechanics are a little bit different. But watching him, he's got a lot of experience with his hand down. And there's obviously a lot of defense where he will have his hand down. So obviously he'll have some familiarity with that. But there may be some times where he feels more comfortable in a 2-point. So we'll see. I mean, he's a guy who's played a lot of football. He's got a good feel for the game, and when you got a veteran player, a lot of times as a coach, you just got to put trust that player, or really more than anything, you got to listen to what the perspective of that player, and then there's a lot of dialogue that happens after that. So he and I, myself, Mike Smith, we'll all kind of work together collaboratively to help him and put him in best positions. And that's the same for every player.